Okay, so let's have a look at how to actually play this song, and here is the first bit. So what I'm doing here is I'm pulling 13 off to 10 on the B, and then I'm hitting 12 on the G. Go back to 10 on the B, and then you're bending this G note here up a whole step, but you're killing it with your right hand. So we've got, and then you're playing 10 on the high E, and then you're bending this 13th fret up a whole step. So this bit real slowly. And of course, you want to try and get a nice vibrato on that note if you can. And the last bit of this phrase is you're double stopping 10 on the G, 10 on the B, and then you just, and you're sliding away. So that first bit again, real slow. So here's the next bit of the tune, and some tricky bends going on here. Okay, so what am I doing here? Well, we're playing a bend here. Now normally you either bend a semitone bend or a whole tone bend, but in this case we're bending a full tone bend and then another full tone bend. So the best way to look at this is if I play it real slow. Okay, what am I doing there? So I'm bending this 13th fret on the B to this D note, which is 2 frets higher. So you're really doing this. I just play it with slides. That's what you're doing. So you're going 13, 15, 17 on the B, back to 13 on the B. So you're going. So you could play that, but it doesn't sound as good, does it? If I play this with the bends, much more pretty, but much more difficult to do, especially if you're using heavy gauge strings. So bend 13th fret B up to 15th fret B, and then bend it up again to this note here, which is an E note there, and then let it down to that C note again. So real slow. And again, more vibrato. So next phrase is a bit easier. Again, 13 on the B, pull off to 10 on the B, and then bend up this 12th fret on the G. So from this bit here, so play that 12th on the G and then bend it up. And you've got another little phrase that goes like this. Okay, so you're pulling 10 off the 9 on the G, and then 12 on the D, back to 9 on the G, slide 10 to 12 on the D, 12 on the G, and back to 12 on the D there. So here's that bit again. So let me just play you those last couple of bits through. Now after this phrase, there's another little bit where you just double stop 10 on the G and 10 on the B again. So that bit is. So that's that whole bit in its entirety. Then we've got another little double stop bit which goes. So I'm again just double stopping 10 on the G and the B and going to that 12th fret on the D. So twice on the double stop, 12 on the D, and again, but this time when you do it again, on the third time, you're just playing that once, and then you're going 12 on the G, 12 on the B, and back to 10 on the G and B again. So that bit real slow. Now, we're going to move on to a little movement here, which might be a bit difficult. It's a rake. So you're going... Okay, now, if you're not used to this kind of move, what are you doing? Well, here is D minor pentatonic, okay, where this solo is coming from. And here's D minor triad. Okay, these are the notes from the D minor chord. There is a D there. So you're really playing a D minor arpeggio. That's what you're doing. But you're doing it fairly quickly, so this is one movement with the pick, you're just going down. So, and then, after you've done that, so you're going 12 on the D there, 10 on G, 10 on the B, and 10 on the E. And it's just one movement with the pick, down. Okay. And then you're bending up this 13th fret on the high E, up a whole step. And then let it down and play 13 on the high E twice. Kind of staccato, kill it with your finger. Again, the vibrato, always keep the vibrato, that's really important. So here's the next part, which I think is the most tricky part of the whole tune. Okay, once more for luck. So, what am I doing here? Well, if I break it down to how we did it before, I'm going 13, 15, 17, 18, 13. So that whole bit, really, if I was to play that is... Of course, the tricky thing with it is you're doing it with bends. So you're bending 13 up to 15, then up to 17, and then up to 18, let down to 13, and then back up to 15 again. That's a tricky bit. Next part sounds like this. So, another classic David Gilmour lick. So we're bending the 12th fret up to the 14th fret. And then you're going 10 on the B, 10 on the high E. And then 13 on the B, pull off to 10 on the B. And then finally finish on that 12th fret of the G. So here's the first bit. So this next bit, you're pre-bending up that 12th fret, letting it down, and then pulling off to the 10th fret. So far we've got this. And then pull off the 12 to 10. That's the next bit. So 12, pull off to 10, hit that 12th fret on the D there, and then 10 on the G, back to 12 on the G. So again, I'll play it through. Okay, here's the next bit. Okay, so what we're doing here is pulling at 12 on the D to 10 off on the D. Okay, so that's the next bit. So you're pulling 12 on the A to 10 on the A twice. And then sliding back with your first finger to this 8th fret here on the A. So, and then pulling 10 off to the 8 on the A, 10 on the low E, okay, so after you've pulled off 10 to 8, and then you're playing 10 on the low E 3 times. Sorry, 2 times. And then you're going to the 8th fret on the A, pull off 10 on the low E to 8, back to 10. Okay, so here's this whole section real slow. And then just slide away. And then we're up to the 4th position of D minor pentatonic, and I'll play that for you. Nice phrase that. So you're sliding into the 7th fret on the D, 5 on the G, and then 7 on the G. And then you're hammering on that little phrase there. So 5 on the B to hammer on to 6, pull off to 5, and then you're finally finishing on that 7th fret on the G. So it goes like this. The next bit is you're hammering on 5 on the G to 7 on the G, and finishing on that 7th fret there on the D, which is where you started, isn't it? So here we go, real slow. And then bending that 5th fret, you're changing positions here a bit, so bend that 5th fret on the G up. I use a little rake there. And then you're hitting that 3rd fret on the B. And then pull off 5 to 7 on the G, and then bend this 6th fret up slightly sharp. So here's that bit all the way through. And I'm getting that effect just by killing the note. Next bit is another familiar phrase which we know. So that's the same thing again as we did in the first bit of the solo. So you're just going 13, 15, 17. That's what you're bending. So the last bit of the solo, some high bends. So let's have a look. Okay, so we're bending this 18th fret on the B, up a whole step, and then we're pulling off 18 to 15. So that bit slow. Okay, so 18 to 15 on the B, and then we're going, so 19 on a G, 18 there on the B, and then we're bending up this 20th fret up and down, and letting down, so. And then the last time a little vibrato, so. And then bend that up again. Let down to the 20th fret, so you're bending that 20th fret up a whole step. And you're playing that 19th fret on a G again. So I'll just play this bit all the way through for you. So the last bits of the solo are pretty high up here, and they go like this. Okay, so what we're doing here, bend up that 18th fret on the high E, up a whole step, let it down and pick it again. Then go up to the 20th fret on the E and bend that up a whole step. And then pull off 20 to 17, twice. And then we're moving up here to the 10th fret again, that double stop. So double stop 10 on the G, 10 on the B, twice, and then go back to that 12 on the D. And then we've got this move. So you're sliding from the 12th fret there on the D. Then you're double stopping 12 on the G and 12 on the B. So what you're actually doing is you're making a C major triad. So you're double stopping 12 on the G, 12 on the B, but you're also playing your second finger on the 13th fret on the B. So you've got that sound. And then 12 on the G, 12 on the B. Twice. Okay? And you're playing that double stop there on the 12 3 times. And then back to double stopping 10 and on the G, 10 on the B, and then finally finishing on that note there, which is the D note, which is the 12th fret of the D. And the last bit of the solo is so that's a little muted thing there where you're muting with your right hand on just by the bridge, and you're going 8, 10, you're going 10, 8. So 10 to 8 on the A, back to 10 again, and then 8, and finally finish on the 10th fret there on the low E.